Okay. Hey, y'all, this is David, the Georgia photographer. I'm pretty sure I'm streaming. So now I'm going to just ramble on for about an hour. Let's see here, it's 9:35, and I have been sitting here thinking about things, watching some YouTube, drinking some coffee, and wondering if the reason that I'm doing my photography has been misaligned all these years. Yeah, I've just kind of been thinking about it. Let me get the stream chat pulled up. There we go. I'm going to break it away and put it over on this side, because I'm not going to be doing any cuts or anything today. I can stick it over here. What have I just done? Whatever. All right. Good morning, all. I'll put that in the chat. Let's see how this goes. All right. It's midweek stream, mid-morning stream. Lots of people have to work, so I understand that. So mostly this may end up just being a video. I'll constantly be looking down to read the chats because they're populating over here. But I'm on my notebook computer. I'm in remote. As you can see, it's January and I'm in short sleeves and I'm not shivering. Back home, it's super cold. I'm in Tampa, Florida currently. And I don't know, it's probably high 60s. It's pretty nice right now. Like blue skies. It was real foggy this morning. Well, good morning, Phil. How you doing today? Tim's going to jump on stream too. Interesting. I'll see if I can dig him up after I finish. Maybe I'll go over there and be a part of his if his is at a different time. But I've got a little bit of time this morning. I got to work on my truck a little bit. I have built a delay timer module for my delay wipers. The mid-2000s Dodge truck's delay wiper system is notoriously faulty. It runs through, they have a whole bunch of computers in those trucks, and the one that runs the delay wipers is called the FCM, the front control module. So mine's a diesel, so it has two batteries, and they're up in the front corners. It's kind of where you would expect them to be. Well, on the driver's side, the batteries moved back about a foot, and that's where they put the fuse box. Well, underneath that fuse box is where that front control module is. And I've replaced it once, and it lasted about, 2 weeks. And it went bad again. You can no longer buy those modules new. You can only buy used ones from the salvage yard at this point. They're that old. And this mode in it has been defective. My computer's trying to go to sleep. I'm going to have to stay on it and mess with the mouse periodically. But those modules are notoriously defective. So I made my own delay wiper system. I took a blinker control switch assembly, bought a new one, dismantled it, cut the traces on the circuit board so that I could wire in my own delay system into the delay segments of the rotary switch, because it's a linear sliding switch that as you turn that knob, it drives a little gear and it just runs a slider back and forth as you turn it. So that was pretty simple. I was able to find that pretty easy and break into that delay circuit and separate those contacts out, bring that out as a set of wires. And I hadn't really put a lot of thought into trying to do it with electronics, which would have been a lot smaller and probably easier to adjust. So what I done was I bought 5 little timer modules off Amazon that you can control the on delay and off delay time with. And what that allows me to do is when you set it, it comes on for so many seconds and then it turns off. And that way it resets till the next cycle. And the off time is how long it is between wipe strokes, and then the on time it's supposed to be enough to let it go over and set the park switch in the system so that when it goes back it'll park, but it doesn't. I've got the timing off a little bit. Some of them they'll wipe one and then they'll stick halfway and then they'll wipe and then they'll seat, and it's a long list of stuff. But 53 in Cleveland, nice. Hi, Aaron's online. How you doing, dude? So I got to take that thing out and tweak those settings a little bit today. Um, it's been up and running like that for a while now, and I haven't fixed it yet, and I've just kind of been kicking the can down the road. Today's pretty nice. I have a little bit of free time this morning, so today's the day. Get that sorted out. Had to put a headlight in the truck yesterday, so that was a lot of fun. That same fuse box has to be removed to get in there to where the headlight connector is, so I could put a new headlight in it. I happened to realize yesterday also, I have went through 2 or 3 headlights lamps in the truck so far and have not had a single marker light burn out yet. Now, to be fair, there's only 2. The back has the integrated, I bought the LED modules, and the parking lights are integrated into it, so they're LED now, but the front I haven't converted yet because the bulbs haven't went bad. Once them 2 bulbs in the corners, them orange ones, once they die, I'll probably replace them with LEDs, and then that way I won't have anything but the conventional headlamps, because I haven't bothered to convert them to LED either. Morning, morning, morning. Yeah. Got me some good coffee. I do have a camera with me today, so it is a technical photography live stream, and I'll be getting to that subject in just a minute. I was just kind of chatting it up and giving everybody the rundown so we could see what all is happening in the world and all that. Down here, I think they had a football game the other day, because they kept talking about how Tampa Bay was playing somebody, and we walked by a sports bar, and they had half-price pitchers at halftime on the bar thing outside. And then across the street, there was a coffee shop doing a special too. It was interesting. But let's see. We went down South Sierra at Carabel, and I did some parks on the air. I really need to go into settings and disable that whole sleep mode. It's timing out pretty darn quick. But let's see if I can get into that without breaking the stream. Oh, that ain't what I want. Display. Let's see if this lets me fix it. Oh boy, that changed everything really fast. And no. Wrong button. Okay, let's close this. And we're back. I'll just deal with it for now. But I've been walking around with this little camera here lately, just taking snapshots with it. I really like this camera. The form factor's great. I've learned how to use it, like where the controls are, so I'm comfortable shooting with it. And that was something that I struggled with for a long time, in that new camera bodies come out so often, and for so long they were affordable. They were, if you had a pretty decent job, you could afford a camera body when the new ones would drop. And I would go a couple of 3 cycles sometimes, and then get one. I bought a D7000, then like 2 years later I bought a D810, and I kept it until I got a Z6. So I'm not getting one every single time like some people, but I'm getting one every 2 or 3. And then I got into these, and then and I messed with the Fuji X-T3 a little while. So I hopped around with brands, but at the end of the day, I never really kept one long enough to really learn how to use it. And that was my goal when I got the ZF, was to stop hopping from camera to camera to camera to camera, and stick with the ones I have long enough to actually learn how to use them. That made a huge difference in the way my photography went, because now I don't really have to think real hard about how to get the photo I want from this little CL. I brought the ZF with me on this trip as well, but I've only brought the 105 f1.4 that I was playing with because it was still on the camera. And I got the 50mm f1.8s in there as well, because it simulates essentially what this one sees. I didn't bring any wildlife gear or any of that because I wasn't planning on doing any wildlife photography. I ain't going to be able to let this go. that dadgum screensaver. Let me just put that in. Screen edges, display configuration, touchscreen. Oh, come on. No, I'm not in Carabel currently. I am in Tampa. I am in Ybor City, actually. That's where we got our Airbnb, is Ybor City. Let's see what this does. Is that going to break it? No. Ah, here we go. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm in the right area now. General behavior. Looking for the timer. No. Well. All right. Come on. There we go. Yeah. Now, I keep trying to figure that out, but no, I'm not in Carabel. I'm currently in Tampa, like I said, just outside of Ybor City. The little downtown Ybor, which is La Setima, I think, is it? The 7th Avenue. It's right over that way, about half a mile. Coffee's pretty good, but it's starting to get cold. I've let it sit too long. But I got to thinking, wander back on subject here. What is it about my photography? There's also mosquitoes. One's done bit me on the leg. What is it about my photography that actually makes me happy? And I wrote a little bit about this in the description for this stream, so that, you know, it has the effect of, what do you call it? The search results. The algorithm can find it, you know. But the point being is a sharp photo, or is it accolades from your peers? Is it being published, showing your work in a gallery? Is it just getting just the right light? You know, happen to be in the right place at the right time for street photography. All sorts of things play into that. Is it using the newest and greatest gear? I mean, for some people, using the newest camera makes them happy. And, you know, a lot of people don't sit down and think about it long enough to try and figure out what it is that makes a person happy with their photography. You know, they just pick up the camera and they start taking photos, and they watch YouTube like I do, and they try to come up with a cohesive reason to actually be doing it, when they just do it because it's what they've always done, you know, and or what their friends do, or it's just you see that a lot, what I'd call herd mentality, for lack of a better term. People will do the same thing as their peers only because their peers are doing it too, you know. And it's I think it's so they'll fit in and they'll be able to actually be a part of a group, because humans are social creatures and they want to be included, you know. And for the oddballs like me that don't really want to be in large groups, still like groups, because here I am on YouTube trying to create community, even though it's remote and disconnected. You know. Let's see. Through Jose's lens, or Joe's lens, through Joe's lens, my bad. I'm finally selling off some of my older gear. If it's just gathering dust in bags and cases, it's a candidate for the chopping block. Yeah, and I'm doing the same thing, little at a time. The camera gear is a little slower to move out than it is like my ham radio stuff I don't use. I've started selling off all sorts of stuff on eBay that I just don't use, literally just don't use, and it sits around and collects dust. Yeah, I've got a bunch of those organizers that are full of 50 millimeter lenses. I don't get them out. I shoot with this one. Seriously, I leave this one on the camera almost all the time because it's native L mount and it doesn't project way out because it ain't a full frame lens. Since it's an APS-C lens, they've compacted it down to where it's, you know, you can get it out here where it's in front of the siding and you can see it. Wow, that's really hard to do. But yeah, it's a very small package like that. And I am real choosy about which lenses I buy going forward. I haven't bought a new lens since getting rid of the 200 millimeter micro nickel and getting that 105 f1.4 in quite some time. I think that 51.8S with the ZF was the one I got before that, and I don't remember the one prior to that one. I did look at some lenses on eBay at one point, thinking about maybe getting a 28 millimeter to go on the ZF, but to be honest about it, I don't think I want to do it now. I would rather have the 28, I think it's f1.8S. It's in the little family with the 50 and the 35 and all that. I think that lens would be a better choice than would be getting an old manual lens and an adapter, just because it gives you the functionality of everything. You get all the functionality. It gives you EXIF data. I do love my manual glass, but what I was thinking about doing with 28 was like starting to get a little closer with street, and I've looked back on it and I really don't know that I want to do that. That isn't what brings me joy in photography. What brings me joy is being able to just carry the camera with me and capture what I see when I see it, and not have to really struggle around to figure out how to set the camera to get the photo I'm wanting. And a lot of people will buy a high-end hot rod camera and then not spend the time to learn all of the functionality. I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna be digging back in that menu. I gotta figure out where that's at. No, it's none of them. But I did look at screensaver, yeah. I don't know what it would be under. Oh well, I'll figure it out. Anyway, you should borrow the Viltrox full frame Z28 1.8 lens for Nikon Z. Do you have it? I didn't know you had that one. Huh. Yeah, I'd be happy to try and make a video about that. Okay, cool. Let's see. I done got distracted. That screen it'll dim down all at once, and when it does, it catches me off guard and it breaks my train of thought. All right. There'll be another lens in the stable. But yeah, I'm going to start liquidating the older ones that just linger in those sorted cases, because, I mean, yeah, each one has its own character and its own uniqueness. And I don't decorate with them. Like I said, I've got them stored in those cases to kind of protect them and to keep them from banging into one another and to keep dust out of them somewhat. And I just got to looking at that and thought, man, this is really a huge waste. You know, they're just sitting in here and no one's using them. Maybe if I put them back into circulation and let people shoot with them, it would help, you know, the community as a whole, and lighten my collection significantly at the same time. Like I feel like there's mosquitoes landing on my head. It's bugging me. But I feel like I really need to figure out that screen dimming thing. Hey Woody, how you doing? We're going back into the screen settings. Let's see here. Settings. Additional drivers. System settings. There it was. Let's see. See if it's in there. Wow. Okay. I'm still here. All right, let's see what this does. No. No. Okay. I keep going back to this. Maybe I found it. Yeah. Here we go. Let's turn off dim screen. Turn off screensaver. Turn off that. Now, we'll just minimize this window and I can turn it back on when I get done here. All right. Maybe I actually did it this time. Regaining train of thought. But it just kind of come to the realization one day, and it wasn't long ago. That's the sad part, is it took me all these years to figure it out, was that I like my photos for me. Like, I want to print a book about what I've been doing in Chattanooga, and I've been building that. I've been picking through the photos I've taken and kind of throwing them in a folder, and I'm way over the count. So when it comes down to cull it down to the book size, I got a lot to go through, and I still haven't went through all the hard drives, and I may end up cutting it kind of short just because I've already got so many images in there already, and then I've got to make the decision: do I focus on the people or the city, or do I mix it and make it 50-50? Because I've got way more photos of people than I thought I had. So there's a lot of that to calculate out, and I brought that with me so I can work on it here too. I'm going to mess with that some at some point while I'm down here. But it's an important question that you really need to answer for yourself, is, because that should drive the equipment that you purchase. If you're buying like really high-end cameras, but you're taking, abstract photography, does the fact that you're using the high-end camera bring you joy? Or is it the abstract? Well, that didn't fix it. It just went dim. Oh, well, maybe I didn't apply it. Let me go back and look. Yeah, there's an apply button hid way over in this corner. Now, let's see. Now I should be good to go. The sun's starting to creep in. I'm going to have to move the camera. There's a spot of sun right above the camera lens. Here in just a few minutes, most likely it's going to crawl across, and then I'll definitely have to move it. But maybe we'll go inside. I was wanting to sit on the porch. But let's see, to jump back to where I was, if you're shooting abstracts and you're shooting with like a really high-end camera, say you've got a Z8 and you're shooting abstract images, does the fact that you're shooting with the Z8 bring you joy? Or the Z8 is getting you abstracts? Or would a Gen 1 Z6 generate that same image and save you thousands of dollars that you could put towards printing your work? And it's like the hype cycle has built so much around getting the newest equipment and propagating that to the masses that no one stops to think about what is it about this that actually makes us happy. And I've just been thinking about that here lately, like way more than going out and shooting. I haven't really went out and done photography. I did a little yesterday evening. Posted a portrait of Teresa on Facebook that I got last night. I shot it wide open at f/0.95. Asked me how easy that was to get her eye reasonably in focus. It was tough. I finally set it to high speed burst, and just literally just got it focused in, done the zoom in, got critical focus on the eye because it is a manual focus lens. And the moment I hit focus, I went ahead and pushed the focus box over to that corner where I knew she would be kind of positioned like I wanted, and I just laid down on the trigger basically. And I think the last one was good. The rest of them were blurry. But it worked. It got me the photo. But I took a few pictures walking around town, but none of them looked too good. You know, they're just snapshots. You know, just me trying to find something interesting here and there. Like I got a couple of photos of the streetcars and one photo of the skyline. But what I saw looking through the viewfinder and what the picture looks like are different. For some reason, it doesn't translate once you get it out of the camera. But I don't know why. It just don't. But yeah, that's a question that you really need to ask yourself. And like I said, it took me a lot of years to figure that out, and you're getting it for free. If you've made it this far, let's see how many minutes into this, 26 minutes into this stream for me to get to that, then, you know, maybe if you played it at double speed, you'd be 13 minutes in listening to it in your car, and you've got it for free. You know, it's just something to consider. Now, I'm already planning probably tomorrow morning I'm going to do a photo walk, and I'll probably go to Ybor City and just wander around. There ain't a whole lot to photograph in the mornings in Ybor City. It's just the way it is. Yeah, I'm going to have trouble here in a minute. But good morning. Yes, sir. You too. It's the mailman. Let's see. If I turn it just a little bit, and it'll prolong the inevitable. Now, the mailman walks. He was checking the box to see if there was mail outgoing. But, matter of fact, maybe I'll just go ahead and go in. All right. Let me pick this up. I'll come back and get that coffee cup. That coffee's cold anyway. Woo, boy, that's flying around in a lot. All right, well, now we're inside. I think I'll sit up here. This sort of have a nice boomy echo because the room is filled with hard surfaces. Let's see here. I bet I need to sit this way. Let's see here. Yeah, this is going to work. I'll pull this over a little bit. There we go. Now we're inside where it's not near as loud and the sun isn't going to mess me up too much. All right. So do y'all have any questions for me today? I don't know if there's much to even question because I've gone ahead and gave you. Yeah. Through Joe's Lens says, unless it's changed, Ybor City doesn't crank up till about 9 or 10 at night, and that's true. I'll go tomorrow morning and I'll walk around, and what I'll be looking for is interesting light because there won't be much activity. Until about lunch, most of the places don't even open. You know, you really, there's nothing there because it's all about the bar life, you know, mostly. There's a bunch of those. There's cigar lounges and bars, and some of them will roll cigars like live and in front of you. So I'll see if I can find some of that and photograph it, maybe even do a little video. I actually brought my vlogging gear. I haven't got it out since October. Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've made an actual video. But that's something else that I'm looking into real hard. Tim Childers done pulled the plug on his photography channel, and it put me to thinking about mine real hard. Tattoo shops too, yeah. I haven't walked it this year yet. We drove by it yesterday going to downtown. We went down to the, was it Sparkman's Wharf or whatever. We walked around down there and just got our steps in. But that whole Ybor City thing, I haven't messed with it this year at all. I forgot about the tattoo shops. They did a special, they do a deal on, Halloween, where it's like a certain price up till for that one day or something. There was people lined up out the door that day. We were down here. Maybe it was on Friday the 13th. I don't remember. They did a deal. I happened to be down here one year, and there was people lined up out the doors trying to get tattoos on that day. There was a special day they did it on. I don't remember what it was now. So what are y'all doing? Let's see. I can't really see any of the metrics with a single screen anymore. Like when I'm back home, I have two monitors, and I can put the stream software on one, and I can put all the analytic information on the other, and I can see like how many people are on stream and who's there, or the ones that are. I can see the chat real big. But when I'm like this, I've just got this one monitor, and I'm compressing it all into it. It's a little more difficult to operate with. I'm keeping an eye on my battery too, because now that I've turned off the screensaver, should have a pretty good battery in it. But it's been an interesting trip already. But yeah, we stayed in Carabel 2 nights. Visited with Sierra and her boyfriend a little while. And then I did a Parks on the Air activation during a rainstorm on St. George's Island. And had to hurry and get out in the rain and pack it all up because we had to leave before they locked the gate at the park at like 6 or whatever it was. It went really well though. We had a lot of fun. Went to a pizza joint right off the island. Just here building a website for a taxi company. And awesome. Getting it done. Listening to David stream while you actually get some positive work progress out the door. That's cool. Excuse me. Let's see. Yeah. It's been a fun trip so far. The drive wasn't too bad. Since we didn't drive straight to Tampa, we broke it up. It's still longer than if you drove straight down, but each day time was less. It's only like 6 hours or so to Carabel from where I live, and then it's only like 4.5 or 5 from there to here. So, it was just a morning drive, and then we were to the next place. I've been doing some ham radio while I was here. I've got my gear for doing what is known as Parks on the Air with me. I went yesterday and did a park and built my 40 meter system out. If you know anything about ham radio, then I have a blog post coming out in a week or so about it. And you can see how I made my 20 meter antenna work on 40 meters without an antenna tuner. It's kind of ghetto, but it works. It does. It actually did work. Woody says, I'm trying to get up the mood to go to the grocery store and then work in the yard. We will have temps in the high 60s through Saturday this week in Virginia. Nice. Yeah. Like I said, I was going to stream for about an hour and then go out and fix my delay wipers on the truck finally after having them installed for months now. I think I put them in it last July. Maybe it was last summer I installed them. Might have been longer than that actually. But the times have never been like correct. I think none of them work like they're supposed to. And I am working with a defective wiper motor. The home switch in it doesn't pick up on the first cycle, so it has to stroke twice before it'll park. And so I have to build enough time in for it to stroke one time and reset and start on that next one, and then it'll park. Otherwise, it'll just stop somewhere on the window until it's commanded again. Then it'll finish that one and do it and then park like it's supposed to. And it's, like I said, I just need to sit down and play with the times, get the times dialed in on the little modules. But that's today. But yeah, yard work is never fun. Not for me. Some people enjoy it, but I have never cared for it. Once I was able to hire someone to mow the yard, that was the greatest thing since sliced bread for me, because I despise cutting the yard. Let me see. I have anything else? Any current events that are interesting? Do y'all know of anything in the photography world that's happening that's of interest? I don't think there's any new equipment coming out or anything. CES is happening, what, this week or next? So maybe we'll see some new and interesting things there, because it happens, and then SHOT Show happens right behind it, I think. They're real close together, I know that. And then Sunday the temperatures drop. So you got to do it now if you want to do it in reasonable weather. That's what you're saying. Oh, wow. Yeah. But it's supposed to get real cold next week, I think. We've got to keep the shop going back home, and things have picked up, so it's kind of busy there. So Teresa's working from remote, keeping all that up and operational on the office side. And since I work with the shop mostly, I really can't do much for what I do there. I do a few little technical question things, but the most of the stuff that happens when we're remote like this is what Teresa does. So it leaves me some free time. So I should be able to make a video or two. Oh, I know what's wrong. There's not a lot of light. Okay. Well, that's the way it works sometimes. All right. Well, I'm going to hop off the stream here, guys, and make me a fresh cup of coffee and get out here and get started on these delay wipers on the truck, and let you guys get back to your rat killing too. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. It's been a lot of fun. And until next time, I'm going to tell you to get your camera out, whichever kind it is. It don't matter who makes it. Go take some pictures with it. All right? We'll see y'all later.